My friend has a weird love for Cheetos. So he went to the Cheetos production factory and purchased 28 industrial-sized clear bags of Cheetos. They charged him $65 per clear bag. He's the one they warn us about in math problems. Looks like the screenshot of a new Disney Channel series. She's 15 and an aspiring singer, and she's a gorilla. And now they are stepsisters. Life will never be the same for Madison and Coco. Also, for some reason, it's a secret, and they dress Coco up like a human to go to school. Monkey business. Only on Disney Channel. I used to call into my local radio station every day in middle school and request that they play the Kingdom Hearts theme, and they never did because I didn't understand how the radio worked back then. But one fucking day, the radio host was like, "For the kid who keeps requesting this song for 2 years straight, here you go. Oh, and by the way, we are blocking your number." And they fucking played it, and beating the system was worth never being able to request a song ever again. Some video game channel. If you use cheats to clip through this area, you will find a model of a tomato. I wonder why they put this here. Me every time. Devs. Yeah, when we take out the tomato, everything breaks, so we just left it in. Me. So you remember in the altar finale, when Arm gets slammed against a rock in just the right spot, so his chakra is unblocked, and it realigns his whole spirit and body, and he is able to reach his full potential, as the Avatar? My chiropractor. What? Internet guys will complain about any female washed character, but I've never seen anyone go after the Spider-Verse interpretation of Doc Ock, and I think that's cause we can all agree this is the most fitting appearance for the character. Traditionalist. The knight saves the princess and slays the dragon. Feminist. The princess saves herself and slays the dragon, who is a metaphor for toxic masculinity. Del Toroist. The princess and the dragon fall in love and slay the knight, who is a metaphor for war, bigotry and or toxic masculinity. Shrekist. The knight saves the princess but doesn't slay the dragon. It's on his to-do list. The dragon and the knight's noble steed fall in love, and it's a metaphor for Disney bad. Do deaf people understand puns? Are there some combinations of sign language which are hilariously ambiguous? Signing the word milk when moving it past your eyes is pasteurized milk. Pasteurized milk. That's appalling. Have a like. Beauty and the Beast but reverse. I kiss the love of my life, and she turns into a sick fucking monster, and it's awesome. Shrek. Never mind. Post cancelled. Coward. The saying, life is just one damn thing after another, is a gross understatement. The damn things overlap. The Cincinnati Enquirer, Ohio, February 21st, 1947. Mood. One time I got the stomach flu at a New Year's party and rang in the New Year puking my guts out while some kids' shitty boombox played I'm Blue by E-Full-65 on repeat. When I was really little, I didn't understand the whole body of Christ concept, and so I asked my Sunday school teacher, if we were all part of Jesus's body, how does he decide who'll be his butt? She was like, what the F? I wrote Warrior Cats fanfiction for English class. In grade 7, I accidentally made the class think that I had a train fetish, and in high school I still had people asking me if I legitimately wanted to F a train. I can't remember how or why, but I somehow managed to download the song I Just Had Sex by The Lonely Island, even though the computer had parental controls on it. One time I was reading Star Wars porn, at the same time my roommate was reading the Bible, and I got a weird power trip from it. In biology class, I completely failed a test about the parts of the pee-pee and balls. I failed the pee-pee test. I sorta started a coup in my grade 5 model government, but I didn't get in trouble because I let another kid take the fall, and I felt really bad about it. I once took someone to the dollar store as a date. Sludges can be ranked along a line of good sludges and bad sludges. Observe. Good sludges. Bad sludges. Oatmeal. Blood. Radioactive sewage. I realize this may be controversial, so I'll explain my reasoning. Oatmeal, as the peak of good sludge, is obvious and the most undebatable. It warms your hands when you hold the bowl, and it tastes good, and emits a warm smell of apple and cinnamon. Blood is slightly more on the good sludge side, due to how it keeps you alive. However, generally, if you can see blood, it is a bad sludge, a circumstantial sludge, but in most situations a good sludge. But be careful. Radioactive sewage is a bad sludge, because it will kill you. Bringing this post back, due to recent events, those events being I'm eating oatmeal right now. Oatmeal is a bad sludge, because when I eat it, it makes me want to die. Radioactive sewage is a good sludge, because I eat it, and it makes my bones like glow sticks. Sludge is a social construct. Garfield is a serval and John should be in jail for illegally owning an exotic animal. John should be in jail for more than just that. I hate the person that working with kids has made me become. I spilled my drink during my lunch break and shouted, "or beans," like some kind of nerd. As a camp counselor, I once accidentally censored the word hell with F. A 12-year-old camper once tattled on my boss to me. He said the F word. I heard him. "Shh, really?" I replied. A girl once came to tell me that another girl put a large beetle, which she found in the bathroom, in her mouth. I responded with, "What the F?" This girl looked me dead in the eye and frantically whispered back, "What the F? What the F?" Do not put bathroom beetles in your mouth. So outside beetles are fine. Once in a while. Not all the time. Girls can have little a beetle. As a treat. I talked to this one artist who had like an installation at an art show, and his installation was literally a pile of garbage. And he told me the entire reason he did it was to hear these fucking holes come up with some deep meaning behind this literal pile of garbage. I love that man to this day. Got a blast. Twilight isn't actually all that bad, we just hated it because of misogyny. The Hunger Games series is actually really good, we just hated it because of misogyny. A really big chunk of stuff oriented for girls is actually great, we just hated it because of misogyny. There's a ton of really good girl-oriented media that might not ever see recognition, because people can't stand it when girls like things. Actually, Twilight is still a load of hot garbage, but people were too busy hating on it because of misogyny to dunk on it for its romanticizing of abuse, and its racism, and its sexism, its pedophilic undertones in the last book. Undertones. Who am I kidding? He fell in love with a fucking baby. So, in English class we had to draw a scene from The Great Gatsby. After the drawings were done, the teacher was showing them to the class, and one drawing was a pic of Gatsby reaching towards at the green light, but in the drawing Gatsby didn't have hands. So my teacher starts saying something like, how this picture has hidden meaning, and portrays the helplessness Gatsby feels, and the kid next to me just casually says, I can't draw hands. This is honestly how symbolism works in English. Goalkeeper Sam Bartram, alone on the pitch, not realizing that the game had been abandoned 15 minutes earlier due to heavy fog. The 25th of December 1937. My last brain cell. Apparently, Native American tribes were in contact with the Donner Party and offered them food when they saw the colonists were starving, and the Donner Party turned them down and decided to go the whole cannibalism route instead. Until now, the Native American perspective has been left out of the telling of the Donner tragedy, not because the well-melty did not remember the pioneers, but because they were never asked, or perhaps were not ready to share. Their oral tradition recalls the starving strangers who camped in an area that was unsuitable for that time of year. Taking pity on the pioneers, the Northern Washoe attempted to feed them, leaving rabbit meat and wild potatoes near the camps. Another account states that they tried to bring the Donner Party a deer carcass, but were shot at as they approached. Later, some well-melty observed the migrants eating human remains. Fearing for their lives, the area's native inhabitants continued to watch the strangers, but avoided further contact. These stories, and the archaeological evidence that appears to support them, certainly complicated my interpretation of the Donner Party event. The migrants at Alder Creek were not surviving in the mountains alone. The Northern Washoe were there, and they had tried to help. TFW, a group of unprepared strangers show up, refuse the food you offer them, start fucking cannibalizing each other, and then call you the savages. We should all be thankful that anti-thunderstorms with flashes of extreme darkness during the day, followed by loud, high-pitched screeches, don't exist. What the actual F? Actually no, I wanna see that My dash is like coronavirus, Animal Crossing, someone having a mental breakdown, half ironic gifs of Twilight. Imagine reading a book of all the lies you've told. I don't know what kind of lives you all are leading, but this sounds like the boringest Yes, I sent that email. Yeah, I like your outfit. I was sick. My mom said no. No, I wasn't crying. Yes, I read the terms of service. What about a book of all the lies people have told you? Oh, how the tables have tabled. Tables have tabled. This is so goddamn important. I verbally express affection. A lot. My husband doesn't. I don't know why. For the longest time part of me wondered if it meant he loved me less. At some point, I told him about a thing I had done as a kid. Holding hands. 3 squeezes means I love you. Suddenly, he's telling me I love you all the time. Holding my hand, obviously, but also randomly. Tap tap tap. On my hand, my shoulder, my butt, my knee, whatever body part is closest to him, with whatever part of him is closest to me, all the time. More often than I ever verbally said it. It's an ingrained signal now. I can tap 3 times on whatever part of him and get 3 taps back in his sleep. Apparently, I do the same. It's made a huge difference for us. People say things differently. Quick, tell me the weirdest compliment you've ever gotten. My doctor told me I have impeccable eardrums. My dentist once told me, in an appreciative tone, that I have huge Neanderthal-like canine teeth. Oh, I'm losing my mind over this. I have frequently had doctors complain to me that I have tiny ear canals, and like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that information, besides apologize for providing a sub-patient experience. When I had surgery, the anesthesiologist had me open up my mouth so they could see what they were working with when they intubated me, and they were like, oh nice, lots of room. Assistant, come look. And the assistant came to look down my throat and was like, nice. My wife, when we were first dating, told me I reminded her of a walrus, you know, a really pretty one. Dobby was only there in The Lord of the Rings to cockblock Sam and Frodo. Whenever it looked like Frodo was about to shoot his shot, Dobby was just like, what's his potatoes master? My girlfriend is insistent. She's seen Lord of the Rings, but the only character she remembers is Dobbo. I'm like, who's Dobbo? And she's like, the gremlin. I can't cope. People of the Commonwealth, do not interfere. Our intentions are peaceful. We are the Brotherhood of Steel.